There's a moment that almost every dog owner describes the same way. Your dog, who hasn't left their bed in days, suddenly gets up, walks slowly across the room, and finds you. They don't ask for food. They don't bark. They just rest their head on your lap and look at you deeply, like they're trying to memorize your face. And something inside you knows. Something shifted. You don't know how you know, you just do. So what's actually happening in that moment? Does your dog know something you're afraid to say out loud? Today, we're going to look at what science has discovered about this question, and the answer is genuinely one of the most beautiful things I've come across about dogs. Let's start with what scientists actually know. Dr. Gregory Burns, a neuroscientist at Emory University, spent years conducting the first MRI brain scans ever performed on conscious, unrestrained dogs. What he found changed how the scientific world thinks about dogs. Dogs don't just react to the world around them, they form mental pictures of the people they love. Their brains light up in response to your scent, your voice, your face, in ways that are remarkably similar to how human brains respond to the people we love most. Now here's where it gets interesting. A dog's sense of smell is estimated to be around 100,000 times more sensitive than ours. A significant portion of their brain is devoted entirely to processing scent. So much so that researchers believe dogs can detect chemical changes in a body, changes so subtle that our most advanced medical equipment sometimes misses them. We already know dogs can smell certain cancers before they show up on a scan. Some trained dogs detect blood sugar drops in diabetics before the person feels any symptoms at all. So the question isn't really whether dogs can detect that something is changing in a dying body. The evidence strongly suggests they can. The real question is, what do they do with that information? Here's the thing that the science, the vets, and the thousands of owners who have lived through this all seem to agree on. Your dog doesn't understand death the way you do. They don't have a concept of permanence, or an afterlife, or the abstract idea of dying. But what they do understand deeply, instinctively, completely, is you. They understand your scent when it changes. They understand when the person they love most starts smelling different, moving differently, breathing differently. They understand when something in their world is shifting in a way that has never shifted before. And here is where it gets beautiful. When veterinarians were surveyed about what they observe in dogs near the end of life, something remarkable kept coming up. Two very different patterns. Some dogs withdraw. They find a quiet corner of the house. They go still. If you know anything about wolves, dogs' ancestors, this makes sense. In a wolf pack, a sick or weakened animal would often go off alone rather than burden the others. Scientists believe this ancient instinct still lives inside your dog. If your dog retreats in their final days, they may not be pushing you away. In their own wordless way, they may be trying to protect you. But then there's the second pattern, and this is the one that tends to stay with people forever. Some dogs do the opposite. With energy they haven't shown in days, they seek you out. They find you wherever you are in the house. They press close. They hold your gaze for longer than they ever have before. Veterinarians who work in end-of-life care describe this over and over. The dog isn't confused. They aren't in distress. They seem purposeful, like they have something important to do before they go. And what they're doing, it seems, is this: they're doing what they've always done. They're being with you. Taking care of you. Making sure you're okay. There's also something that vets have noted about the final moments. Something that might offer you some comfort if you've ever had to sit with a dog at the end. Hearing is the last sense to go. Not just in humans, researchers believe this is likely true for dogs too. Their smell may be the last sense of all. Which means that in your dog's final moments, even when they seem still, even when their eyes are closed, they can still hear your voice. And they can still smell you. The two things in the world that have always meant, I am safe. I am loved. I am home. There's a story that keeps circulating among vets and pet owners, the story of dogs who seem to wait. Owners away on a trip, rushing home when they heard their dog was failing and the dog holding on just long enough until they walked through the door. As if something in them refused to leave until the most important person in their world was there. We can't prove what's happening in those moments. Science hasn't gotten there yet. But the evidence we do have points to something that feels unmistakably true to anyone who has loved a dog. They feel us. Right to the end. Maybe even beyond it. So, do dogs know they're dying? Not the way you know it. Not with fear of the future, or grief for what they'll miss. They don't lie awake at night thinking about it. But do they sense that something is changing? That the world they've built around the person they love is shifting? That their body is asking something new of them? The science says, almost certainly yes. And what they do with that, the way they press closer, or find a quiet piece, or search for your face one more time. That isn't random. That is the fullest expression of who your dog has always been. A creature who, from the very first day they came into your life, was oriented entirely around you. Your scent. Your voice. Your presence. Your safety. That doesn't stop at the end. If anything, it becomes the most concentrated, the most pure version of everything they've always felt. Your dog may not have the words for what's happening. But in the way that matters most. In the way that is entirely, beautifully theirs, they know you're there. And that, it turns out, is everything. If this video reached you because you're going through this right now, I'm so sorry. And I hope something here brought you a little comfort. If you want to understand more about what your dog experiences through the different stages of life, from the first days to the final ones, this channel is here for exactly that. Subscribe, and we'll go through it all together. Take care of yourself. And give your dog an extra moment today, just because.